Hey Tim, where have you been? I was out late last night. Overslept.
Were you watching the Yankee game at the bar? I was planning to go, but my wife wanted to have a nice dinner at home. I still managed to watch the game.
Oh, I can understand that. And yeah, I was at the bar watching the game. It got crazy, especially in the extra innings.
I don't remember there being any extra innings.
Hello? Yes. No. Understood, sir. We'll get right on it. Okay, guys, that was the captain. There's been a report of what looks like a suicide. The captain wants us to go check it out. The house is right here in town, only about 5 minutes away from the station. You guys ready? Okay, let's go. Okay guys, when we get there, we will all go interview the victim's brother, check out the body, and find the cause of death. Once we know the cause of death, Colin, take the body, go back to the station, and prepare a post-mortem report. Tim and I are going to split up and search the house. Colin, make sure you get back to us ASAP.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Tim, are you okay? Do you understand the plan?
Hello, officers. Come in.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Detective Moffitt. I'm the leader of this investigation team, and you must be Amon, the victim's brother. I'm truly sorry for your loss. How are you holding out?
I'm hanging in there, in death. I'm fine. I just understand why my dear brother Jeff would kill himself.
That's why we're here. Hello, I'm Colin. I'm the forensic specialist of the team. We're going to figure out exactly why and how your brother committed suicide. During the past month, did your brother seem troubled in any way?
No, not at all. He was very stable, high-paying job, a nice girlfriend, and a very nice return house, as you can see. I don't know what happened.
Wow, sounds like you had a good life.
Yes, he did. I would do anything to have what my brother had. That's why I don't understand why he would kill himself.
Do you have any idea how he died?
Well, I decided to call him last night, but he didn't pick up. Later, I called him 3 more times, but he still didn't pick up. So I decided to go to bed and pay him a visit today. When I woke up, it was around 9 o'clock, so I got in my car and drove here. I rang the doorbell and knocked on the door, but there was no response. The door was unlocked, so I walked in and found him laying on his bed, motionless. I immediately called 911.
Tim, do you want to ask him any more questions? Alright then, Amon, would you mind if we went to see the body now?
That's fine. He's upstairs in his room.
Okay guys, spread out. Try to find the cause of death and I'll examine the body.
Look what I found under the bed.
I guess now we know the cause of death. Oh, but it's weird.
What's weird?
Look at the victim's face. There's blood on the corner of his mouth. I never knew that overdosing on Xanax makes you cough up blood.
I guess different people react to things differently.
Well, I don't like it. I'm gonna take the body back to the station and make sure I find the pills in the system before I do the post-mortem test.
Tim, let's spread out and find any other clues in this house related to this victim. Hey Tim, did you find any suspicious clues? What's wrong with you today, Tim? You are so quiet. You aren't working as hard as usual. Is something bothering you?
No, I'm just really tired from last night. I was very busy. I mean, with watching the Yankee game.
Well, anyway, I found something. I found a few broken pieces of glass in the backyard. That's pretty weird, don't you think?
No, I think maybe the neighbors probably just had a party or something like that. Or maybe the victim dropped it outside and it broke.
Well, I'm not buying that. I think these pieces of glass have something to do with the suicide. Remember what the captain said. Any object, no matter how small, can be evidence.
Okay, what do you want to do with this evidence?
We should take it back to the station and let Colin run tests on it.
You guys leaving already? You saw why and how my brother committed suicide?
No, but we have gathered enough evidence here to go back to the station and run some tests. We still might come back if we need to.
Just to assure you, we're working the best of our ability to find out what happened to your brother.
Thank you. And I'll be here all day trying to keep my mind off Jeff if you guys happen to need to come back. I doubt it will be hard with all the very nice things keeping my mind off of him.
Okay, sounds like a plan. So Tim, how was the bar last night?
It was good, just like any other ordinary bar night.
Who won the game in the end of all those extra innings? I didn't get a chance to watch.
Oh, I don't remember. By the time extra innings started, it was already really late, and I was very tired. I remember staying at the bar to the end of the game, but I don't remember who won because I didn't really watch the extra innings. I was just talking with the bartender.
Okay, I'll just ask Colin later.
So far I was right. I'm almost done checking the body for the Xanax, but so far there is no trace of it. The only other part of the body I have to check are the feet and arms, and I can bet money that I won't find the Xanax there. The weird thing is that instead of Xanax, I found another substance in the lower intestines. I'll run tests to find out what the substance is after I'm done researching the body for the Xanax.
Really? That's weird. You know what else is weird? As I was searching the backyard, I found a few pieces of broken glass. I want you to run tests on the glass to see if there's any kind of substance on it.
I'll definitely run tests on the glass after I'm finished running a test for the Xanax and the mysterious substance. If the Xanax didn't kill the victim, then the mysterious substance that I found in the victim's body could have. The substance that I might find on the glass may also be a substance that could kill the victim. Okay guys, so I finished running tests on the body for the Xanax. I didn't find it anywhere in the body, so I guess it's safe to assume that the overdose was not the cause of the death. I believe that it is also safe to assume that someone planted the Xanax and we're not really looking into a suicide.
Are you suggesting that this case is a homicide?
Yes, I'll start running tests to figure out what the mysterious substance is that I found in the body. While I do this, I would suggest that you and Tim go and research about the victim, find out any people that have been in contact with him during the past few days, and out of these people, find out who may dislike or want the victim dead for any reason.
Alright, Tim and I will get right on it. Get back to us when you have the results, and we will get back to you with the final list of suspects.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
I got nothing. I don't have a clue on any people that might want the victim dead.
Me neither.
Maybe we're looking at this too closely. Let's take a step back and start by first listing the people that the victim has come in contact with over the past week. Maybe one of these people is the person that killed the victim. Okay, Tim, go interrogate the victim's neighbors, check his phone records, and search the computer. The whole 9 yards. I'll stay here and continue researching about the victim.
Hi, I'm Detective Dwyer. I would like to ask you a few questions about your neighbor, Jeff. Can I have your name?
Hello, Detective. I'm Thomas Matthews. What's the matter with Jeff? Is he alright?
Well, Mr. Matthews, I'm sorry to say that your neighbor, Jeff, passed away last week.
Oh my god, how did this happen?
Well, at first it seemed as if it was a suicide, but now we suspect there was some foul play involved.
I can't believe something so terrible could happen to such a kind man. What can I do to help?
For starters, did you see anything suspicious last night?
No, I don't recall anything that seemed out of the ordinary, sorry.
Are you sure? Think a little harder.
Now that I think about it, I do remember seeing 2 men walking into Jeff's house late last night.
Okay, thank you. That'll be all.
Are you sure? Wait, don't you want to know what they look like? It might help to solve the case.
No, thank you. You've been very helpful.
Hey, Tim, so what did the neighbor say?
He said that he saw 2 men walking inside Jeff's house late last night. But he said that he doesn't remember what the 2 men looked like.
Oh, that's a bummer. The men's appearances could have helped in this investigation. Well, anyway, Colin found out that the substance inside the victim's body was cyanide, a type of poison. We also found the same poison on the broken pieces of glass that I found. And get this, cyanide makes the person that ingested it cough up blood. So obviously cyanide was the cause of death. But that's not the best news. We also found very faint fingerprints on the broken pieces of glass, and they don't match up with Jeff's fingerprints. So it's also safe to assume that Colin was right, that this is a homicide, not a suicide. Finally, we're making some progress.
So now it'll only be a matter of time before we know the identity of the person who killed the victim?
Not exactly. That's the bad news. The fingerprints are so faint that it'll take a very long time before we can identify the killer. And if we're unlucky, we might not even get the identity.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Guys, come here.
What is it, Colin?
I just found something and it's not good. Whoever killed Jeff must have had an accomplice.
What do you mean?
I found 2 different sets of fingerprints on the broken pieces of glass.
That means we have to start looking at this homicide from a whole different perspective.
Exactly, but there is some good news. The second set of fingerprints is not as faint as the first. Once I run these fingerprints through the database, in about 10 minutes, I should have the identity of the killer.
Oh,
Hello, officers.
Hello, Mom. We have some interesting news for you.
What is it? You find out we killed my beloved brother?
Yes, and I think you may know very well. Stop! 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 question here is, why did you do it?
I wanted everything he had. The money, the house, the nice car, and if I knew he was dead, I would get all his belongings.
Were you that money hungry?
My whole life I lived in his shadow. He was always a successful one, while I was told to do better and follow my brother's footsteps. People have said to me, why can't you be more like your brother? Now with him gone, I will have everything. I will be the successful one.
You let jealousy get the best of you, and now look where you ended up. Now, enough about your side story. Who was your accomplice?
Well,
John, I have to go now, so you finish up this interrogation and find his accomplice.
Amon, your consequences will only get worse if you don't tell us who else was involved.
I'll tell you my accomplice. Wait right there, Tim. If I'm going to jail, you're coming with me. It was Detective Dwyer.
How dare you blame an officer of such criminal acts?
Fine, don't believe me. Take his fingerprints and compare them to the ones he found on the broken piece of glass. It'll be a perfect match.
Fine, no problem. Tim will pass with flying colors.
Do you believe me now?
Tim, it was you? Why would you do this? You were such a good detective. Everyone loved you here. You were one of my best friends.
I don't care if people like me. I had to do this. This detective salary made me in desperate need of money. My mom was an old friend of mine from high school. He knew that I came back here from college to become part of the police force. So he came with me with this plan and offered me $100,000, and I joined in right away, thinking it was a profitable, foolproof plan. Being a detective, I knew exactly how to pull off a convincing suicide, and most importantly, I didn't think anyone would ever figure out that it was actually a murder. And if somehow it was found out that it was a homicide, I thought it would be impossible to track it back to me. So I give you credit, friend.
Oh my god. So I guess it is always the quiet one.